Anand sir, please begin. We are live.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you,
thank you,
sir.
sir.
Respected
Respected
Dr.
Dr.
M.N.
M.N.
Patel,
Patel,
Provost,
Provost,
Parul
Parul
University,
University,
Dr.
Dr.
Purvi Shah,
Purvi
Dean,
Dean,
Doctoral
Doctor
Studies
Studies
and
and
Research,
Research,
Parul
Parul University,
University, Dr. Swapnil Parikh, Associate Dean, Doctoral Studies and Research, Mr. Sanjay Kumar Patel, Founder and Principal, IP Attorney, Excellon IP Ahmedabad. On behalf of Doctoral Studies and Research, I, Dr. Anand P. Pichadia, welcome you all in a webinar on importance of IP at research level. The purpose of organizing the webinar is to celebrate the World Intellectual Property Day on 26th April 2020. This event was established by World Intellectual Property Organization WIPO in 2000 to raise awareness of how the patents, copyright, trademark, and designs impact on daily life, to celebrate creativity and the contribution made by creators and innovators to the development of society across the globe. I wholeheartedly welcome Dr. Mr. Sanjay Kumar Patel, sir, as an expert. Besides his busy schedule, um, uh, he has given us time to interact with the scholar and deliver the talk. Let me introduce Sanjay Kumar Patel, sir. It is my honor to introduce Mr. Sanjay Kumar Patel. Mr. Sanjay Kumar Patel is founder and patent and trademark attorney at Excellon IP law firm with 16 years of experience in IPR field. He is a registered Indian patent agent. He has done BPharm and MPharm from LM College of Pharmacy, Ahmedabad, and has done LLB from MS University of Ahmedabad. He is holding PG diploma in patent law from NAL SAR University. Previously, he had worked with PNS Group UK, Alembic Pharma, Astron Research of Indus Pharma, and Torrent Pharmaceuticals. He is active member of IP Collegium Group of Japan, managed by Japan Institute for Promoting Invention and Innovation, representing as patent attorney from India. He is startup IP facilitator, recognized by DPIIT. He is on IPR panel as IPR expert at Atal Incubation Center at LM College of Pharmacy, GTU, Ahmedabad, and many other universities and colleges. He has been listed as top 100 IP leader of India by World IP Forum in 2018. He is a seasoned speaker and has delivered many lectures and presentations at national as well as international conferences. So, with this, I would like to, sir, to start this session. Sanjay, sir.
Yes, thank you very much for giving a wonderful introduction, and also would like to say thank you for giving me this opportunity to celebrate this World IP Day. Next, yeah. So the occasion we are here today is just because as a part of celebrating the World Intellectual Property Day, World IP Day, and this year the theme is IP and Youth Innovating for Better Future. So now I would like to congratulate Parul University for creating such a wonderful event, and through this event would like to spread the message of the awareness regarding this subject of intellectual property right among the people who are working or doing some kind of research or innovations for the betterment of the society, right? So now next. Okay, so I expecting a more and more interactive interaction from audience side. So okay, just before I ask the question about this, just quickly you can just brief me in a chat box that you are belongs to which faculty or either in a graduation, post graduation or PhD program or the faculty. Quickly, so just I can get idea that what kind of audience we have today. Just mention that either in a graduations or post graduation or a PhD or which faculty, pharmacy, mechanical, electrical, software. Okay, PhD English, PhD scholar, PhD scholars. Okay, microbiology. Okay, management, applied science, PhD pharmacology. Okay. Okay, so the most of the people we have are from the pharmacy because so the basic technology perspective, whatever the domain you are in, you have already done your basics in graduations. You have also done in your masters in whatever the particular field or technology you are in. Now you are working in a farm as a PhD level. So means you are working on some kind of research which will be at the end of your research work going to be helpful into the society at a large, right? So, okay, I got the idea now regarding the audience. Now, second questions. What you see currently in the screen, and give me your answer that what you see and how you interpret this. Give me your answer into the chat box. What you see into the current screen, and how, if you want to interpret, how you can interpret this. What is this? Innovation as per situation. Okay. Anyone else? I need at least 5 to 6 answers from the audience. Innovation of human mind. Innovations are around us. General idea. Yeah, idea, different innovations. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else would like to say what you can see and how you are correlating or interpreting the things, different innovations? Okay, innovation, optimize use of resources. Good. Okay, now go to the next slide. Okay, now let me know your view on this. Now, after seeing this screen, what comes in your mind? Your comment for this slide. New techniques, age of work. This screen is not visible to me. Okay, problem-based ideas, manual work, use of technology, new techniques, or we can say smart work, using innovative ideas for simplification of daily activity, right? So now what I want to convey here is, if you see this slide or a previous slide, both as an innovation in their center, right? They have identified some problem, they have come up with some solutions, they have done some innovations to solve that particular problems. But the main difference between the first slide and this slide is, the first slide is the person has restricted that solution to himself and very limited to himself or to solve his problem only. While in this slide, the problem and solution is professionally and commercially explored so that a public at large can take a benefit of it. So from that idea or innovations, they were not only kept into the paper or only for the personal use, but they have developed a product which can be commercialized and which can be marketed and sold into the market. So that is the way we need to take a message and learning, that every day we are finding some problems and we are coming up with the solutions, innovative solutions. But when we have that practically innovative solution, don't restrict that to that problem or ourselves or our life only, right? Try to see the scope of commercializing that particular things, that solution, that innovations, coming up with a just good product in a form of your solution, in a form of a product which is solving some kind of problem, and let it be there into the market so that a public and the society can take a benefit out of it, right? So this is the message I want to convey through these two slides. So when research is what? Research is when we are doing a research, through research also we are trying to solve some kind of problems, right? After taking, when you are selecting your research product, you identify some problems and then work on throughout your PhD tenure to come up with some kind of solution or conclusion, right? And based on that, you will get the degree, right? But that should not be the end purpose or end vision that, okay, I want to complete or I want to finish my PhD, right? Keep always in the mind that through your research, whatever the time you have spent, your efforts you have spent into your tenure of the PhD, keep aiming that out of that you come up with some kind of product or solutions which can be commercialized, right? Now it is not possible for each and every case or the project, but whenever it is possible, try to explore that thing, right? When you are working on some kind of research, definitely don't keep it or limit it into a publications, right? Go for patenting it, go for other IP protection which is applicable, and the most important thing is get it commercialized, right? Next,
Slide के नहीं.
next slide. Next slide, please. Hello. Madam, next slide. Hello. Madam, next slide करो ना.
हाँ हेलो सर.
नेक्स्ट स्लाइड करो आनंद भाई.
हाँ करी सर नेक्स्ट स्लाइड.
મને નથી દેખાતી. Right. So before they solve this technical issue, the meaning, the message I want to give here is whenever we are working on any particular. Hello.
हेलो सर विजिबल.
नहीं सर, अभी second slide છે.
Here there is one slide in research patent and why that slide we are at that point.
ના મારે આ second slide જે હતી ને પેલી toss ને મેગી વાળી.
हाँ.
You stop sharing and reshare again, I think.
Okay.
Right. So the purpose is that when we are doing some kind of research, we always should have a target that through that research we first create IP, protect it, and commercialize it. So when we are commercializing only, yes, now full screen. Yes. Right. So now, if we consider it at a large, not only the Indian perspective but the global perspective, there are so many research are ongoing at various institute, research colleges, and all this, right? And out of that research, very limited portion is going into the patent, and out of that, only very few portion out of the patent is get commercialized, which earn something back to the inventor, innovator, research institute, or college or the firms, right? So this is the scenario. It's a reality scenario that out of the whatever the research is ongoing across the globe, only the few are filed as a patent, and out of that, only very few are getting commercialized, which can generate some kind of revenue. Why it is like that, right? So there are many reasons behind that. We will discuss in upcoming slides. Next, please. Everything starts with an idea. As I told you that either you are doing some kind of research work, you want to do some business, you want to startups, right? Everything starts with some kind of idea. But the important thing is how you can convert that idea into IP, that is intellectual property, and through which you generate some kind of revenue or income. Because otherwise, if you have whatever the idea you have, how good that idea is, but if you do not protect it properly and do not execute it properly, and if you are not commercializing it, you are not getting any commercial benefit, and without benefit, का जो भी idea है, it is not going to be worth, right? So we need to keep in mind that how we can commercialize the research work. Next. Right. So when your idea is in terms of identity, you can protect it under the trademark. When your idea is related to some kind of invention or innovation, you can protect under the patent. When your idea is in terms of expression, like you are writing some book, doing painting, photography, music, then you can protect under the copyright. And your idea is in terms of appearance, that you have created some unique shape of particular product, then you can protect that under the design patent, or you can say the industrial design. So there are the different types of intellectual property, and according to the whatever the product, service, research you are working on, you have to identify that my product, my idea, my innovation, my research is falling into which kind of IP, which type of IP. So you have to identify it and protect it. Next. This is the ideal cycle or the research cycle one can have if they want to keep on sustainable development and research without having dependency on other either institute or grant or government, right? So the first step is you are doing some kind of research. Disclose is to limited people who are able to help you in that particular research. And keep in mind that whenever you are disclosing at initial stage, before you have filed any kind of IP, always sign a CDA agreement or an NDA agreement. That is confidentiality agreement or a non-disclosure agreement when you are disclosing with someone, right? Evaluate the idea, research, and the problem solutions, that how effective it is based on whatever the experiment or testing, right? Fourth step is protection. Protection in terms of your intellectual property, right? So as I told you that you have to identify either it is to be protected under the trademark, patent, copyright, or a design patent. You have to identify and protect it as early as possible. Next step is marketing, right? Once you protect, have a product in your hand, without marketing, you are not able to get the commercial benefit, right? If suppose you do not want to do marketing or manufacturing by yourself, you can always choose a partner, as mentioned in the sixth step. You can also explore the possibility of licensing your patent or IP or a product or a research, right? So these are the way through which you can commercialize, right? You can either do manufacturing by yourself, you can license it out, you can do association with other companies, and through which you get some commercialization of your intellectual property or your research work. Based on that, whatever the revenue you are getting, and definitely if your research is solving some kind of problems, right? So it is benefiting to the society, and through that revenue you can again fund your new research, right? So if you want to keep on researching ongoing, you have to make some commercialization, you have to get some revenue, so that that revenue can fund your next level of research, right? So if you stop in between just by the protecting or just by developing the product, and if you ignore the commercial part, then you are not able to refund or the fund the new level of the research or the new kind of the research, right? Next. Next slide. Hello.
Hello.
Next slide.
Sir, done. Here it is. Not visible.
No.
Just a minute. I'm again resharing and again.
Yes. Right. So for the message here is research, disclose, protect, develop, market it, commercialize it. Commercialization, what are the different angles of commercialization? We'll discuss in next. Right. Okay. So now how to start with, right? So when you are at a research, doing any kind of research, how to start with? Next slide, right? The very first thing is you do your homework, that do market analysis, that what kind of problems in the market, identify the appropriate solution which is practically and feasibly possible at commercial level or industry level. Ideation, do the ideation to work out the solution and prepare a POC or a prototype, right? So the very first thing is you have to first understand the problem into the market on any industry which is you belong to or you want to do your research. Do the market analysis, identify the problem, come up with the solutions, list of the solutions. Out of that, identify any one and validate through proper testing and the validation. Keep your prototype ready. That is the very first and very critical stage. Next, financing. At this point of time, you also should keep in mind that going forward, if you want to commercialize this particular product, what kind of and how many funds you may be needed. At day one, you should be very clear, and you also have to explore from where you are going to get this finance. Next, getting protection, as I identifying IP, right? So very initial stage, you have to identify that according to your research, which kind of IP is applicable, either it's a trademark, patent, design, or a copyright. Protecting it at early stage in home country, right? So once you identify that, okay, your product can be protected under the patent or a design patent or a copyright or a trademark, immediately file that particular IP in your home country. And second stage is protecting it at abroad. It depends on if suppose you are planning to commercialize your product into the other countries also, in foreign countries also, then it is always advisable to protect it at abroad also, because intellectual property is a territorial rights. If you have patent in India, your right is limited to India only, right? So if you want to commercialize in USA, Australia, Canada, you have to file your patent in Australia, Canada, and US also, right? Next. Another, this documentation perspective, you should be very clear, and from day one, whenever you are discussing, as I mentioned, sign the CD or NDA. When you are licensing it out, do the licensing agreement with proper mention of the clause and the terms and conditions. When you are transferring your technology to another manufacturer and you do not want to manufacture by yourself, do a proper technology transfer agreement. Next, joint venture agreement or the franchise agreement, right? So whatever the type of business model you are going to forward with your product or research, have a proper written agreement from both the sides, right? So it will avoid any kind of further disputes in the future. If you have a written agreement in place, it will help you a lot, right? So whenever you are doing any kind of commercial activities, make sure you have proper written agreements with you. Next, IP management. Now, suppose you have filed your trademark, your patent, or a copyright in something, but if you do not use it, it's of no use, right? If you for to using it, you have to use it. Use and mention the either TM, registered copyright or patent pending kind of statements on all your product materials. Either it's a pamphlet or offline promotional material or on a website, on your catalog, on flyer, wherever it is possible. Keep a track on IP violation. Okay, suppose you have filed your IP, but you have to also keep watching on that if other people are using or copying your product or not, right? To avoid that copycatters from the market. So you have to keep a track on the IP violation and IP valuations. Now IP valuation means you have a trademark, you can also value, you can get the value of your brand name or trademark, you can get the value of your patent, you can get the value of your copyright. So when you are planning to raise the fund, you want to dilute your equity, you want to bring on new partners, something. So at that time, this IP valuation can help you to identify exact your business valuation, and accordingly that you can raise the fund or dilute the equity. Next. After that, promote your IP, because if you have IP, but if you do not promote it properly, people are not going to get information that you have this kind of IP protected. So that's why it is very important that you have to do marketing and branding, social media marketing and advertising, mentioning that you have this particular innovative products or innovation which is already protected by the different types of IP. There's a patent, trademark, copyright, or a design, right? So you have to keep on saying to the people through whatever the branding media, either it's a social media, offline media, digital branding, You have to keep on saying people that okay, we have this product, but all the intellectual property rights is already protected and registered with us, and can only be protected if anyone is copying. We can always take a legal action. So you have to keep on mentioning to them. Next. Yes, through packaging also you can mention that all trademarks belongs to you, all patent belongs to you, patent is under process and all this. Next. Okay, so now again we ask this question that there are so many research are going on. Out of that, very limited portion is going into the patent filing, and out of that, only limited portion is going to be commercialized or getting the revenue, right? So let me know from your side that what are the reasons that very few patent or IP or research is going to be commercialized. Just give me your answer into the chat box. What as per your view, what may be the reason? What may be the reason from your perspective? Lack of knowledge. Anyone else? One may be insufficient knowledge about filing a patent, ignorance. Yes. Next. Okay. So these are the things at large we are ignoring, or we are not taking it very seriously, right? So the very first thing is ignoring market survey, right? So when you are developing something, when you have identified some problem and you are come up with the solutions, and you like that idea or you like that solution very much, but it is not equally possible can be as a customer or as a consumer, the people will also like that idea, or people will also love that idea, or people will or consumer will accept that solution or a product, right? So you have to go into the market and ask to the consumer who are going to be your actual clients or actual buyers. You have feedback and a survey from those peoples, and then based on that, you have to develop and you have to finalize your product and the solutions. Right. So the very first thing is that we are ignoring this market feedback, market survey, or the consumer behavior, and that's the reason. Though, as per our knowledge, technically, theoretically, practically, the product is very good, providing very good solutions, but because of the lack of this knowledge, we are not able to commercialize it successfully. Right? That's the first reason. Second is ignoring the IP. Right? So as I told you that IP should be identified very early and should be filed as early as possible, because whoever filed first will get the rights of that IP. So another mistake we are doing is that we are not filing IP at early stage, saying that okay, it is a cost expense. So once we get some revenue, then only we will file. But because of that, as I told you, it's when you are filing as early as you have to file as early as possible. So once you miss it and some by mistake someone has filed that particular IP before you, then you have to defend that this particular IP or the product is created by yourself on this particular date or since this much time you are using it. Right? So the another thing we are ignoring is IP. Third thing we are ignoring is finance. From day one, we have developed a prototype. We have come up with a solution of any particular problem, but at that particular time we are not considering that if you want to large scale it, if you want to manufacture at a very large scale or a mass scale, what kind of infrastructure we may need, what kind of marketing team we need, what kind of other budget finance we need, we do not have that clarity, right? So that clarity should be day one. So at a very small lab scale you are getting a very wonderful result and the product, but when you come to know that okay, if I want to do the manufacturing, that cost is very huge, which is not in your budget or not in your scope. So at that time, again, you have to find out the financial solution that to build up that infrastructure or the resources to manufacture that kind of products. So this another things that we are ignoring in our day-to-day life, ignoring the long-term vision, right? So now currently because of the trend of the startups and startup getting this much amount of the funding, this startup has raised this much amount, this startup has raised this much amount. Now it's become some kind of fashion or the trend. If people are doing some kind of startups or innovations, the only the reason or a vision is to raise the fund. But in the race of raising the fund, they actually forget or lose the purpose for which they have started. They are getting diverted from that actual problem solution aspect of their startup or their product, and they only now focusing on to the only and only for the raising the fund, right? And that's the reason many of the startups get failed because of they are losing their main purpose or objective of that particular startups. Another is ignoring marketing, right? In whatever the business you are, whatever the domain you are, what are the products you have, if you do not market it proper way, you are not going to get success in commercialization, right? So आपके पास बहुत ही अच्छा product है which is really useful to so many people, but if you are not able to market it properly, people won't get that there is a such kind of product is available. So you have to do the marketing, but that is also again with a proper strategy, right? So these are the main highlighting points that we are ignoring, and that's the reason that we are not able to commercialize the fully whatever the research we are doing or the whatever the patent we are filing, right? So we need to keep all these points in mind when we are into some kind of research. We are also trying to build up some kind of startups or a business or based on some innovative products or idea, right? We need to consider all these things. It will avoid the failure chances of the failures, right? Next. Next slide. Yes. Okay. So just I came across this particular data from one of the website. How other universities are getting funded. Next. So these are the top three I have taken. That three number is having the 4.56 billion research related income. The top number two got 60.5 million as a research related incomes. Next. On by next. So right, so top one is having some 100 or 200 something million US dollar research related incomes. What it indicates that when you have a proper kind of structure in the systems at universities, have a proper incubation, have a proper system for commercialization of IP, then you can definitely generate the revenue from your research work, and that can help you to help you to funding your research work. And by I'm not able to see the screen next.
Just a minute, sir. I am again resharing.
Yeah. So right. So when we have such a very good infrastructure, we have a very good scholar, professors, research labs available, resources available, then why can't we commercialize it and get it? Examples like this where the foreign universities are working, right? We have to just follow their model and make our product commercialized so that we can get some revenue. The inventor get some benefit revenue, the guide can get some revenue, the university can get some revenue, right? So now how one can commercialize? Commercialization are different types of options are available. The first is you can do manufacturing by yourself. Whatever product you have developed or invented or innovated, you can manufacturing by yourself. Second thing is you assign your IP rights to someone else and let them manufacture. You can also do the joint venture or collaboration that you handle the only marketing part and other company handle the manufacturing part. Like that kind of joint venture you can do. You can also license it out your IP to other companies or the firms. Licensing can be exclusive, can be non-exclusive. That you can give only a single license, exclusive license to one company who will handle the product throughout the India, right? And non-exclusive, you can give same license to the multiple companies or the organization through which you can commercialize your IP. So, right. So when you have product, it is not compulsory that you have to do the manufacturing setup or you should have a manufacturing. Even you do not have a manufacturing, you can always license your patent to someone who has a manufacturing facility and just get a royalty on whatever the sale he is doing. Right. Next. Case studies. Next. This is the invention of X-ray. Next. This is sonography, the invention of the sonography when it was first invented. Next. This is the innovation of the webcam, and it was in 1991. Next. This is the Lyrica by Pfizer, and its chemical name is pregabalin, or generic name is pregabalin, for schizophrenia or some related disorder, CNS related disorder drug. Now, all the examples I have shown here, including X-ray, sonography, the webcam, and this particular drug molecules, all these inventions are happened at the university. It is not the product of any big pharmaceutical company or any big technology companies, right? All these inventions are first invented into the universities. They have protected it through all possible IPs, and then they have licensed it to commercial companies or the manufacturing companies or the pharmaceutical companies. The pharmaceutical companies or the technology companies has then commercialized it and marketed it and sold, created a product and then commercialized into the market, right? So don't underestimate that at the academic level or the research level or the university level we cannot do this kind of research, right? We have all the resources available. We have such talented human minds with us. Proper guiding is available, mentoring is available, infrastructure is available, right? Industry facilities available, right? So this is just some example that we can also do this kind of work where we collaborate with the industry to commercializing the things at the global level, right? Next. Okay, so this is with respect to whatever I want to convey, and again wish you a very happy World IP Day. And for this celebration of this World IP Day, we at Excellon IP are interacting with different startups who are working on really very good innovative products or the solutions, and we are creating this video series, and you can follow us on a YouTube channel. So that every week we will planning to post this video where we are interacting with the startups and will know more about what kind of product they are developing and innovating, and which is making the life of people or the patients very easy and useful. Next. So the innovation is the only key for success, but innovation without protection is just philanthropy, right? So whatever the good innovation you have, if you are not protecting it with intellectual property, then it is not going to help you, because without any protection, anybody in the market can come and copy your products and flood the market with the counterfeit products or the copied products, right? You cannot stop them. If you want to stop them, you should have a proper strong IP protections in place. Next. Right. So thank you. This is from all from my side about this, how IP can help you at the research level and what are the things you need to consider when you are doing some kind of research projects, and always keep commercialization as your end point, right? And you can follow us on our social media pages if you want to know more and more information or the understanding about the intellectual property. Thank you again, Parul University and Purvi Madam and other team members for giving me this opportunity on this particular World IP Day. So we have, if any questions, we can definitely have interactive sessions.
Thank you, sir. We have some questions from the research scholar. The first
Yes.
question is from Dr. Jayesh. What is the process for design pattern? Is it possible to find design pattern for modification in testing equipment?
Yeah. So now the difference between the technical patent and design patent is that design patent is only and only protecting the shape. The only the outer look of any particular product is protected under the design patent. It doesn't have any correlation with the what function that product is doing, what kind of technical features it has, what is the size of that product, or the product is made up of which material, right? It doesn't have any correlation with that. It is only and only protecting your shape of that product. So the question you have asked will not qualify for the design patent. If you have done a modification in that some equipment, you can make evaluate for the technical patent or utility patent, right? But it is not applicable for the design patent. Design patent is only and only protecting the shape of any particular object or a product, uh, which is you can see from the outer side of the any particular product.
Okay. Another one question is there. How the cost is calculated when we give license of copyright?
Yeah, it is. There is no any straight away guideline. It is always depending on demand supply and what kind of means who has who is more looking for that kind of things, right? It is up to you and the buyer and seller. You both can mutually decide. There is no straight away guideline to calculate that kind of royalty or licensing amount.
Okay. Chetan is also asking another one. How to calculate the claim if somebody break copyright?
The same on guideline. It is be evaluated based on the what kind of infringement he has done, what kind of amount he has revenued, and because of his violation of the copy, how much loss you have occurred. Based on that, it will be calculated by the court.
Okay. Uh, okay. Ravindra is asking Ravindra Kumar, how long it will take to get patent?
Hello.
Hello, sir. Another one question. How long it will take to get patent?
Yeah. So if suppose you do not do any extra work and expedite the process, then it may take on an average 3, 4, 5 years. But there is a currently provision of expedite and early publication. If you go through that route, you can get a patent even within less than 1 year.
Okay. And one question, approximate charges for IP application asked by Ravindra Kumar.
Yeah, that is again depending on the if suppose government fees is filing a patent application is 1,600 for individual startups, MSME and education institute, and large entity is 8,000. That is the government fees, but the professional fees of the patent agent, if you want to file through a patent agent or professional, and their charges will vary from firm to firm, right? Because it involves the prior art search, patent drafting, and filing and all this.
Thank you, sir.
Any other?
No, sir. Yes, these are the questions asked by the research scholar. Over to you, Purvi madam. Hey, sir. Purvi madam is audible to you?
No,
No.
no, I'm not audible. I'm not able to hear Purvi ma'am.
Just a minute.
Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Wish you happy Intellectual Property Day to one and all present here. I, Dr. Purvi Shah, Dean Doctor Studies and Research, on behalf of Pal University, extend our sincere thanks to Mr. Sanjay Kumar Patel for delivering in-depth topic and enlighten the all delegates on importance of IP at research level and solve the queries of the all research scholar. And as a token of gratitude, we would like to present an e-certificate to Mr. Sanjay Kumar Patel, sir. So please, thank you, sir, for sparing your valuable time from out of your busy schedule.
Thank you, madam.
So Pal University regularly organizes such webinar for the benefit of PhD scholars through various virtual modes. So all research scholars are requested to attend various webinars conducted relevant to the subject specialization of research. And I thank all delegates of this webinar for your active participation.
So, thank you, Dr. Purvi Shah, Dean DSR. We will mail this e-certificate to you, sir. Now I'll request all the participants to fill the feedback form link. Just I am pasting the feedback form link here in the chat box. So the feedback form link is pasted in the chat box. Participants can fill it, and the participants can also get the e-certificate upon filling the feedback form. This link will be remain open up to 3 o'clock. And with this, we are concluding this webinar session. Okay. I request all participants to please keep turn on your camera.
Take the selfie.
To take the selfie. Participant, please turn your camera. Okay. Thank you all participants. So with this, we are concluding this webinar. Thank you once again all.
टिंग ठीक है सर को निकली क्या लगे थे ना सबने बीजी 2:30 वागे इवेंट रहती है
the same link for getting the certificate will be pasted on the PU webinar Facebook page under the chat box. In PU webinar Facebook page, we will also paste the same link for the getting the certificate, and it will be remain again open up to 3 o'clock. So now you can leave this meet.